Guvernör Kathy Hochul säger att hon vill att alla i delstaten New York ska kunna poströsta. Hon säger att folk automatiskt ska få en valsedel utan att ställa några frågor. Enligt henne är det för att göra det lättare för människor att utöva den mest grundläggande rättigheten i en demokrati.
Voting in New York is already pretty easy. For example, you don't need to show an ID to vote. Some say that asking for voter ID oppresses black voters. They argue that a lot of black people don't have an ID. Now here in New York City, everyone has to show an ID and a vaccination card if they want to dine in at a restaurant. So let's see what people think about this. If you want to dine indoors, you need a vaccine card and an ID. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's good.
So in New York State, you don't need an ID to vote. What do you think about that?
That's retarded.
You need to show a vaccination card and an ID to dine indoors. What do you think about that?
I mean, it is what it is.
You don't need an ID if you want to vote here in New York State. What do you think about that?
Politics.
They say that a lot of black people don't have an identification. Do you think that's true?
I don't think so. All my black friends have identifications.
Most black people you know, do they have ID?
Everybody I know have ID.
Do you think they should require IDs for people who want to vote?
Well, definitely, so they know who they are.
Of course, voting is a constitutional right, and generally everyone should be able to vote. Going to a restaurant, as you may know, is not a constitutional right. Arian Pasdar, NTD News, New York.